More Dungeon Crawl Classics content, you say? Well, this is number 83, The Chained Coffin, which was actually a box set, and it's kind of a combined adventure and setting in one. It was the first setting, quote unquote, for DCC. Let's take a look. Hey everybody, Jordan here, the PH is silent, and we're going to talk about Dungeon Crawl Classics today. This is the Chained Coffin. Now, originally, this was a boxed set that came with a whole bunch of modules and stuff, but since then, they combined it into a book, and that's how I got it. So the box set was out of print, and they decided to wrap all of the good stuff that was in that box set and put it into a single book. So this has all of the same information and the white balance issues that you would see in the Chained Coffin box set, but it's just in a single book now. If you buy a physical copy, you also get the PDFs. And if you have this plus the PDFs, you don't really need the box set. The box set is kind of like a collector's thing. Now, the really cool thing about the box set was that it came with this. And this is the famous puzzle from the Chained Coffin. And I'm going to take it out of its protective sleeve. So this is a spinning puzzle. Yeah. And so the players would have to do this like cipher glyph thing. And I don't know a ton about this because I haven't run it. But based on, this is like an interactive puzzle that they get. And so this was another reason that they didn't put it into a book format, I believe, because they wanted to have these props and handouts available. But the handouts you can print, and they included this prop on the back of the book. So you should totally go get it. It's out there. All right, so here we are with Dungeon Crawl Classics, The Chained Coffin. Now, The Chained Coffin itself is a level 5 adventure, but this also comes with a level 0 adventure, and if I'm remembering correctly, a couple more. So a 0 level funnel, a level 1 adventure, a level 1 to 2 adventure, and a level 3 adventure all come within this. Now, this is kind of out of my wheelhouse, as I am not a fanatical person when it comes to the Appalachian Mountains. And because my lack of knowledge of the Appalachian Mountains and the folklore and stuff that goes there, this didn't resonate with me as much as some other supplements would, but it's very well done, and if you love that kind of stuff, it's really cool. So this is a different take on Dungeon Crawl Classics. It's not full-on Weird West like that. You're still playing your basic fantasy races, but the mythology and the topography and all of that stuff that you're kind of going through, even the way magic is dealt with, is all kind of this weird mountain man existence kind of things, and the creatures that existed in that folklore back in the day. That the author of this, Michael Curtis, was very much inspired by Manly Wade Wellman's John the Balladeer tales, which were tales of the Appalachian Mountains and the supernatural stuff that went on there. Now, if you Google this, basically it's Silver John is the main person of all of this. And so these are he's kind of like the bard that runs around, and he's in various places, and he's got stories to tell. So John the Balladeer, the Hanging Stones, you can check out a lot of these. Now, I haven't read any of these, but I do, they obviously resonated with the person who made this. And so, yeah, I think it's probably worth checking out. And especially with these DCC campaign settings, reading the inspired works before you're going to run a game in that setting really, really helps you. And this is not necessarily a plug, you might know about this, but if you're interested in this kind of mythology and horror, Old Gods of Appalachia is a scripted podcast that deals with this very much the same way. And I believe this was turned into an RPG via Monte Cook Games. So you can explore that more, but I just started listening to this. It's very well done. As of recording this, they're in season 3. I'm on episode 2, but it is a good sense of what the horror and the genre should feel like. But jumping back to the Chained Coffin, something that my book has that my PDFs don't have is an introduction by the author, and he kind of talks about the reprint and why this is so meaningful to him, and how Joseph Goodman said, well, let's do this and let's build this up and things like that. So really, really cool. What do you get when you start running this? Well, first of all, you're going to have an almanac. First of all, you're going to have this great hex map. And so this is the Shutter Mountains, which is an analogy for the Appalachian Mountains. And you're going to go through, and a lot of these places you can visit. So in the sense, it's kind of an open sandbox, and you could make your own adventure here if you wanted. Doing that, you can have something to assist you with doing that is the Almanac of the Shutter Mountains. So this is not necessarily a point by point, like what happens in each hex, but it does have a history of the mountains, what the feeling is you should have when you're running these, like the primal days of the early mountains, and the problems that have come from that. The natives that live there, how they're different from other people. Are they actually creatures? Things like that. And then places of interest, various places that you can go that hopefully have some kind of exploration that you would want to check out, or plot hook to help evolve your story. I'm a big fan of hex crawls, and I'm a big fan of player-driven stories. And if your players really love this setting, this is a great way to populate their minds with all type of stuff, and then they build the quest for you, which is really fun. Inspirational resources, primary influences for this, it has all of these Manly Wade Wellman stories, and then some others. I love this Pumpkinhead from 1988. Secondary influences here as well, The Descent. So I love it when authors put this in, so I know where they were when they were writing this, like what mindset they were in. And then moving on, we have the Chained Coffin Companion, and this is to help build characters. There's a new patron and a bestiary and just magic and stuff like that, and how magic and curses work differently over here in the Chained Coffin box set, over here in the Shutter Mountains, that it's just a little different than normal DCC, and how folk magic should be viewed as opposed to powerful fantasy wizard magic. And the old songs, that's something that they like to talk about, and I thought that was really cool. So playing a song that grants the performer or a listener of his choosing increased stealth. So you get a +1 die increase when you can learn some of these and play some of these old songs. It's really fun. Sacred Sticks and the Forgotten Sigils, magic items in the Shutter Mountains. So we have information on hex signs and things like that, very specific to the setting. Really fun art. So this is one of the new patrons, Modeka, who is a charming and ingratiating devil, but really is just the devil, let's be honest. And then bestiary. So we have some things that are very specific to the setting. Not a lot, because monsters are kind of not... They're loosey-goosey, and you can kind of figure them up as you play. And then a lot of the monsters are also in the adventures, which is a staple of Goodman games. And then up next, we have some of the smaller adventures. So Spring Hollow is a level 0 adventure to kind of get your feet wet and see if people like this. I won't go into too much of it. And then on top of that, we have, let me read the table of contents again. So that was Sour Spring Hollow, a 0-level funnel. We have Moonricket Bridge, level 1, Moon Eyes and Fireflies, a level 1 to 2, and Death Among the Pines, which is a level 3 adventure. And then the Woeful Caves under Yonder Mountain, level 3 adventure. The Grave Pool, a level 4 adventure. The Witchman of Darkweather Mountain, a level 5 adventure. And this all culminates into the level 5 adventure, The Chained Coffin, which is what we're looking at right now. Level 5 adventure, an introduction background. You guys are probably familiar with DCC adventures at this point. If you're not, check it out. There's other stuff. Talks to you about the Shudfolk, and then music in mountains. We got all kinds of cool stuff, rumors and stuff to get people playing. So this is a $50 investment. It's probably cheaper on Amazon, but you're getting a whole like branch of a campaign, honestly, from levels 1 to 5. So it's pretty exciting, I think. Lots of fun art. I believe there's lots of really cool handouts. The maps are always super fun. All right, so here's a handout so we can see what kind of creepy, crawly monsters we're going to be fighting. Here's some more handouts for the Chained Coffin. And I love handouts. I love the more I've been playing, I really enjoy Theater of the Mind. I think DCC works really well for Theater of the Mind. And for me to describe it is one thing, and then to hand players this or show them this and say, this is what it looks like, is really, really great for me. And then here are some additional uses for the spinning puzzle. So even if you're not using the puzzle as is, here are some other uses for it, which is kind of fun. Talisman monster summonings. I like this. Okay, and here's the level 3 adventure, The Woeful Caves Under Yonder Mountain. Yeah, so this is more of a cave crawl. So, yeah. And again, jumping over to their website, if you go to goodmangames.com, this is Dungeon Crawl Classics number 83, the Chained Coffin, hardcover edition plus PDF, $50. And you get this book that I have right here along with the spinning puzzle. Not a lot of new magic items or spells or something that you would think in a more traditional tabletop RPG setting, but a lot of ways to interpret the original stuff to make it work for a setting like this, which I think Dungeon Crawl Classics has been doing really well with all of their campaign settings. This was their first, like, dip their toe into it to kind of make it work. And a lot of these adventures work whether you're in the Shutter Mountains, quote unquote, or not, or if you want to use like a random adventure when you're not there. Unlike Lankmar, which really a lot of those adventures work for Lankmar specifically because of the way they're balanced and things like that. And I could be wrong, but as we're coming up with other new campaign settings coming out for Dungeon Crawl Classics, I think it's important to look at this original one and see how cool it is. As always, I'll put links down below for links to all of these things. Some of those are affiliate links if you're interested in it. I definitely think it's worth picking up. There have been, like, I didn't really like Empire of the East, but this one is something that, even though I'm unfamiliar with the books and I'm unfamiliar with the mythology, I am very curious to learn more. Whereas I tried reading Empire of the East and I did not enjoy what I was reading, and I didn't really enjoy the supplement, but I hear they're remaking it. Maybe it'll be really cool later on. Who knows? And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching till the very end. I super appreciate it. I hope you subscribe for more. I have heard the comments and you guys want more Dungeon Crawl Classics content, and I am actively playing Dungeon Crawl Classics, so I feel like I should jump in and do more content. With the other expansions coming in the mail soon, I'll be covering those, so be sure to subscribe. And thanks again. I'll see you all later.